Yeah, two things on that. One, I think James Conrad's shot at Worlds doesn't nearly go as crazy if there was no crowd. The
Absolutely, yeah.
fact that there was a lot of people there,
Great example.
probably 1,500 people or so. I'm not obviously a huge fan of fans running onto the actual course,
Yeah.
but the excitement, the noise, all that made that environment way cooler and way more shareable than if there was no one there. And then what you were just saying too about the experience, that is something that everyone, I mean, you look at AAA baseball game, for example. No one really, no one's really going to a AAA baseball game because they're watching incredible baseball. I've gone to multiple AAA baseball games. I couldn't tell you a single player
Yeah.
that was out there on the field. No clue. But they do such a good job of making it a fun experience. So if you want to have it as a date night, if you want to bring your family there, it's a fun experience for everyone. And I think it's one of those tough situations with disc golf because right now there's not enough money in the purses to where players are actually walking home with enough money. I think we just looked at Las Vegas. I don't know if this is something you're going to talk about, but the Las Vegas potential payout just came out, and first place is $4,000. Right? The purses are still so low in disc golf that it's one of those. It's a tough situation because do you do something where it's like, okay, well, maybe if we start spending a lot more money on amenities and the experience, so that way spectators when they come, it's not just about the disc golf. It's a much more bigger event than just that.
Yeah.
Maybe we get more spectators and then the purse gets bigger and then players might make more money for winning. So you might look at it that way, but then there's another thing of where it's like, okay, well, if we spend all this money on all this stuff and disc golf isn't there yet, now we're just wasting all this money, and it's a very tough situation to be in. But clearly, there's a lot of things that the disc golf pro tour can do to make it where it's not like you're just showing up to a park and
Yeah.
watching. Okay, right now, it feels like you're almost going. You know what it feels like? It feels like if anyone ran cross country, they'll know exactly what I mean. It feels like you're going to like a high school cross country meet where you show up, you're in like basically a park, and there is some sort of like signage and stuff like that. There's some porta potties here and there, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
So if they can make it more an event, have like vendors that come out, and instead of just like, maybe instead of just having a tent and they're underneath the tent, maybe there's actually an experience there. Stuff like that,
Yeah.
I think matters a lot. But again, it's a very difficult situation to be in because it's like for them, they have to figure out we only have so much resources right now. Where should we putting our time and effort into?
Yeah. Well, especially now that they're starting to charge spectators, it's one thing if you charge and there is some type of experience, like you're saying, versus if you charge and nothing changes and it's like, hey, last year I walked into this public park for free and watched disc golf, and now this year I got to pay $10 to do the exact same thing. That's a tougher look than, okay, well I paid $10, but I at least get, at least I now get access to the fly mart that's here, or at least I get to X, Y, or Z, or, on my VIP pass, it does give me access to follow this card all the way through versus, the $5 general admission, you're parked on three or four of the holes or something like that. So they're definitely focused on it somewhat, but yeah, it's a good point that disc
I
golf
think
has to just kind of grow a little bit more to make the return on investment worth it before they start pouring money into
and
fan experience.
I also think too it's not only on the disc golf pro tour here either. I think it's also on the sponsors of the tournament as well. What you just mentioned is something that I think obviously some spectators and stuff might get excited about, like a fly
Mm-hmm.
mart and get to see all these discs and stuff. But that is such a like seeing the pro shop and stuff at or going to like the NBA store or whatever it is. Like everyone wants to go and pick up merchandise from uh, the event, the sporting event you're at. That's always a fun thing to do. But if that's all you're ever doing, I feel like the bar is so low that someone can come in and create some sort of experience that could be really exciting for fans to come in and do. And it's again like it's just building certain things out. So like instead of just having a net and someone like holding a radar gun and you just throw a disc and you see how fast you can throw it, somehow building that out to where it actually looks like some sort of like standalone experience, I think would do wonders versus right now a lot of times it's very bare
Mm,
bones. Everything is very, very bare bones.
yeah.
Um
It'd be
and
kind of
there's
sick.
not
It'd be kind of sick at that what you just said, the radar gun thing. Just this idea just came to me when you're talking about it. If like you walked up and there's like a board behind the net, like you're throwing into the net in the middle, and the board around it like has like Simon's throw speed, Paul's throw speed, like all these different throw speeds, and then yours. So you like when you throw, you're like, oh shoot, I'm 25 miles an hour slower than how fast Simon's throwing it, or like
yeah.
something like that to where
Or even
I don't know.
what would be even cooler actually would actually if you did something along the lines. Again, these are all things that are feasible to do. You just need people to be on the job doing it. Like something that would be sick to do for like the throwing thing is, when you go to the fair and you like hit the mallet on the thing and you see how high you go up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have something like that of where what you were just talking about, have Drew Gibson, Simon, Eagle, have all these different players on the level. And then when you throw, you just basically have a system set up of where you know where that goes. And so then you have that little do and you see how high you go up. So maybe you have like an MA4, MA3, MA1, and then you start going pros. And so when you go up and you throw 50 miles an hour, it's like MA2. And then like, I mean, just something as simple as that. Small stuff like that goes a long way.
Is anything like that even happening at Pro Tours right now? Like a fan experience stuff like that of like events to do outside of just watch disc golf?
Well, didn't you do something at USDGC where it's like you just threw
Yeah,
discs out?
USDGC had it. Yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying is like I think what they had was like you just threw a disc out in the field and
Yeah.
they told you how fast you threw it.
Yeah, they that was how fast. They also had like accuracy and a putting challenge. But USDGC was one of the first events I've ever went to that was there. College Nationals had something for us as like the college athletes at the Fly Mart where you could throw and like get your speed. But I'm thinking like any tournament. I'm trying to think. I've been to quite a few Pro Tours and I haven't really seen that.
You ready for another experience that would be sick?
Yeah.
Dye your disc.
Heck yeah.
Spend like $35. It's like $35 or $40, and they basically walk you through how to dye your disc. And you dye your disc right there, and you set it up, and then you go out and you watch disc golf the rest of the day, and you come back and your disc is ready to go. Like there's just small things like that. Food also is a big one. I think also
there's a lot of people in chat were saying we're saying like food trucks, beer tents, stuff like that.
Having lots more food situations like that would be huge. I think also like signage too, as easy as it would be to just get like leaderboards and stuff like that throughout the course would be useful. And then having like almost like a spot of where maybe there's 4 food trucks and a couple beers on tap, and then they have like a big. I think that is one thing that the Disc Golf Pro Tour said they might have this year. So it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate that. Of where I think they're going to have like a huge TV broadcasting it. So like that would be a cool like hangout spot to come back, watch some coverage, eat some food, hang out, maybe have some baskets around there. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And also I don't think everything has to be disc golf, right? Like you can have cornhole set up, or you could have like a spike ball thing, or you can have other things set up. It doesn't have every experience thing there doesn't have to be disc golf.
Yeah.
There can be other things involved. I mean, heck, you go to like, again, I'm going with the PGA Tour event, but you go there and like they have, sometimes you can go and like do a sick car experience where, BMW's there and you get to, go and not test drive, but you get to like go in their new BMW car that's coming out. So obviously that's way down the road because the money is just not there for like a sponsor like that to do something. Everything's probably gonna be very disc golf oriented. But my point being, like, think outside the box. I think it'll be interesting to see who's the first kind of sponsor and stuff that puts a little bit of time and effort into their experiences actually on the grounds. But again, this only matters if you have the foot traffic.
Yeah.
No one's going to care if you have a tournament that has 500 spectators a day. That number's got to get up over 5,000 for some of these experiences to have any value.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, when you were saying fan experience, I was like thinking in my head, like, what the heck can you even offer people? But basically making it like a festival where you're there and you get to have fun doing stuff.
I literally just came up with all that stuff off the top of my head.
Yeah, I've just never even thought of it. So hopefully someone at the Pro Tour is thinking the same way you're thinking.
Imagine if someone actually paid someone to all they're doing was trying to think of events that they could do.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,